past week, VShojo released 3 lore teasers leading up to a big announcement set for later today as of this recording. Not only do they seem to hint at the next phase in the VShojo storyline, they're also fully 2D animated, unlike the animatics we've seen so far. I will go over all 3 teasers and see what little tidbits of lore and theories you can get out of there, and the second half of this video will be recorded after said announcement to make this video complete. This is the first teaser. It's called Beyond Heaven and Hell, and the title seems to be suggesting something to deal with Iron Mouse because she is the queen of hell after all.
There's more to this universe.
There's Iron Mouse, like I said.
Hell, you know.
The animation is so good.
Why would someone make an idol agency with gods?
This is exactly what I was asking myself about Gunrun. So specific.
The Earth will be protected from all who wish it harm.
Look at the animation,
Life
it's so
lasts
gorgeous.
forever, if you let it. Nature wasn't created by heaven or hell, so where does it come from?
There's so much.
少しだけど覚えてる。
Oh no, this is so... Okay, this is so high.
平等は自分で作るもんなんだよ。
Okay, this one was so badass.
Every world connects. What an exciting place!
Always make me happy to see
The
Hime.
future has not yet been saved.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
A
thought
thousand
we were
apocalypses
safe.
await.
1000 even. Okay. And that's Nanos. Damn. So let's just go over the entire thing so I can just vent my thoughts. So here Iron Mouse says there's more to this universe than heaven and hell, you know. It implies that there is more realms aside from heaven, hell, and earth. Then we have Project Melody here. Why would someone make an idol agency with gods, aliens, and robots? Which is exactly what I have been thinking about Gunrun. He had this set of very specific qualifications just ready to go as soon as he recruited Melody. Why did he have those? What does he need those for? It's not like he got an average idol group together where someone has to have a specific hair color and be able to do certain dance moves. He really looked for gods, aliens, robots, everything. It's so specific. And it's really unclear whether he wanted these people specifically or he just needed specific powers to fight against something. Which also aligns with something. Malware was made by an entity. I think it's like a government or like a big corporation. They made malware as a sentient AI super weapon. What is out there that you need something that strong for? What do they know that we don't? Because you're not gonna make like a super weapon if you're not gonna use it. So I think that the person who made malware actually might be preparing for the same threat or something as Gunrun has been doing. But instead of making a super weapon, he got a team of Avengers, honestly. And then there is Febe here floating in space saying the Earth will be protected from all who wish it harm. How does she mean that? I don't understand. Is she the one protecting it? And you see her power up a bit. And as she's in space, she probably is going into her full form, which was shown in the Project Melodies Ode to the Cyber Apocalypse video at the end, which is gigantic, like absolutely gigantic. So she's obviously battling something huge. And then there is Silverfield. Life could last forever if you let it. I like the phrasing, if you let it. It will sort itself out if you don't interfere with it. But there's a lot of things currently interfering with life being able to continue. And then there's Fruit saying nature wasn't created by heaven or hell, which is in line with what Iron Mouse said, that there's more to this universe than just heaven and hell. So there's either another realm or something else out there that rivals heaven and hell. And she also asked, where does it come from? Like, she doesn't know either. She does know that it doesn't come from heaven or hell. But that's also interesting because the god in this universe is called Creator. If he wasn't the creator, who was? But if they are the creator, they are not from heaven or hell. And maybe that's why it's locked up. That heaven is like a prison for it. They're trying to contain it. Like it came from somewhere else. And that's why nobody is allowed to see it. There's so much it can be. And then we have Nazuna saying, I remember just a little. She has been fully amnesiac ever since she was found by Kason. And she couldn't remember a single thing, where she came from, what the key does. But we did see her in Iron Mouse's Heavenfall video. video, where she was present at the day that everyone stormed the gate of the creator's chamber. But she fully lost her memory, but it seems like her memory loss is more recent instead of losing her memory of just how it looked like, because she is still an angel. So either she has like an exception, or she didn't look inside and was one of the few angels still left, but she did lose her memory somehow. That's a lot to unpack as well. And then you have Kason saying there's nothing fair about this world unless you make it fair, which is an absolute Kason thing to say. And I love it that Kason is the only regular human in this entire bunch. She is just a random gang boss, which is honestly really cool because that adds a little bit of air to all of it. Unless it turns out that she also has something special, which we will probably learn more about in whatever phase 2 will bring us. And then we have Hime Hajime saying Earth is where every world connects. So that also seems to be tying into there's more than just heaven and hell, but also heaven and hell are specifically like connected to Earth in a way. The fact that even she says Earth is where every world connects. We're clearly like a hub, maybe not just for dimensions and realms, but also for every other world in every sense of the way. Oh, this is interesting. Hime also goes to Earth, and this giant octopus thing you can't see because of the camera, which also was shown in the Vebe shot earlier. It's still there, but Vebe is nowhere to be seen. So either this shot takes place before the Vebe scene, or Vebe has somehow been defeated or is elsewhere. I'm so interested to know what's happening and what this thing is. I have the feeling it might be connected to Nyanis, as she is also the one like laughing manually at the end of this video. And then we have Zen. The future has not yet been saved. We were so very happy that we defeated malware, at least future malware, thinking everything would be safe, but nothing is that easy, of course. We also don't know where current malware is because she left Melody right after that battle with a very weird mood, a little bit defeated, maybe a bit scared, but not scared of being deleted in the same way she was before, but in a different way scared. So she might prove to be an issue. And then Zen says that there are 1,000 apocalypses that await, so that might be more multiverse stuff or more worlds that want to destroy Earth. So maybe there are just a lot of things coming into Earth all at once. So that's about as much as I can get out of this teaser alone. So the next teaser is called The Light in the Dark, and where the last teaser ended with the black screen and Nyanis laughing, this one actually seems to start with Nyanis.
This world has seen unimaginable suffering.
That's the Necronomicon.
famine,
And those are the 4
disease,
horsemen of the
death,
apocalypse.
and decay. Yet, despite the fragility of man,
So much to unpack
life
already.
never faltered.
We're
A
just 40
single
seconds.
shining jewel in the endless void. Its people, their love, fear, hopes, and dreams.
I love Nyanis'
I
narration.
understand now. The endless power it contains. I see you, and I finally
Animation is
understand what you
beautiful.
are.
What is that? Oh, that's Goro. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, let's go frame by frame, honestly. It starts with Nyanis reading in the Necronomicon. I don't exactly know what's in it, but it's her go-to book. And as she is already in her Dark Messenger form, that means that this teaser takes place after Dark Messenger Nyarlathotep video, her latest lore that she released around Halloween. So it starts with this world has seen unimaginable suffering, which is ironic for her to say because she has been part of that suffering. And then she goes on, famine, disease, death, and decay, which I don't know. They're not exactly the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, but they're similar. And as there has been quite some talk about apocalypses already, it seems to be in line. Like you can just make it different for this universe. And then she says, yet despite the fragility of man, life never faltered, which seems to be in line with what Silverfield said. Life will remain if you let it. So if there's nothing to interfere, life will just keep existing. So even though humankind is fragile, if nothing interferes, we will thrive regardless. Then she says, a single shining jewel in the endless void. It's people, their love, fear, hopes, and dreams, which makes me feel like she's referring to Earth, which makes me think she's still referring to Earth as a shining jewel in the endless void. I understand now the endless power it contains. So there's something about Earth where there's like a lot of power that she can apparently probably tap into if I see a look in her eyes that she wants for herself. There's clearly something here that makes this place special, and either that gives it power or there was something pre-existing that made that everything is connected to here. Both are very probable in this scenario, and we won't find out until there's more lore to work with. She says, I see you, and I finally understand what you are. And then she looks at this floating orb in the middle of the room, and then the video just ends. And then we have the last video, even shorter than the previous one. It's called The Curtain Rises.
The stage is set. The curtain shall be lifted. And I will get the answer behind it all.
The three worlds will become one. And I shall rule over all.
I'm getting goosebumps. I've seen this already, but I'm getting goosebumps.
It can't be.
Who are you?
Sorry, I've just lost for words because it's just so good. And at the end here, we see the date, which is today, and it will be happening later today. It will be midnight for me, so I probably won't be able to see any of it until the morning, unless I stay up late. So even within this video, there are like several layers to a few things. Like the last video was just Nyannis talking to herself and getting some philosophical breakthrough. I don't know, she understood something. And it starts again with Nyannis. The stage is set. The curtain shall be lifted, and I will get the answer behind it all. She has cooked up a plan to grab all the power for herself, or at least get the knowledge like what it is. And then we see Iron Mouse saying the three worlds will become one, obviously referring to heaven, hell, and earth. But it's not just Iron Mouse, it's future Demon Queen Iron Mouse, and she wants to rule over all, which seems to be in line with her motivations in Race Queen Mel cinematic, which seems to be in line with the Race Queen Mel cinematic. In that cinematic, you see Malware, future Malware, open up a giant gate to hell, as the contact between Earth and Hell has been completely shut off when she started to take over the world, because in essence, heaven and hell are very dependent on humans, and if Earth no longer has humans, there is little to no reason to keep the gates open. But then when Irma steps out of the gate that Malware opened, she's like, oh, so you ruined my favorite realm. Malware's like, I can make you experience your favorite realm again like you're used to. Iron Mouse helps with her multiverse traveling powers to get Malware into our timeline, and in Iron Mouse's Heavenfall video, you see Iron Mouse, Demon Queen Iron Mouse, with several other iterations of Iron Mouse, basically kidnap our current day Iron Mouse, which is really confusing. I know evil future Iron Mouse travels back in time to a different timeline, basically, with other versions of herself from other universes, kidnaps our Iron Mouse. That's the easiest way I can put it. And she says that she wants to combine the three realms and rule over them all. And there's a very interesting point in the Ode to the Cyber Apocalypse video. You see future Malware talk that if she merges with our Melody and Malware, she has enough processing power to take over the universe, to merge realms. So I feel like her plan was to either overtake Mouse and just use her for the fact that she could bring her back to the past, or they had a plan together that somewhat relied on Malware getting the processing power. The connections are circumstantial at best, but they seem to be connected at the very least. And future Iron Mouse is very clear that she wants to rule over all realms. And then we see, what is this, Febe? She's looking into the sky and there's purple lightning, and she says, no, it can't be. This might be happening before what we saw in the first teaser, where she was floating in space looking at that giant purple tentacle monster, and maybe she sees it arrive right now and she's just panicking. And maybe that giant tentacle monster is like Azathoth, stuff from Nyena's video where she summoned him, and this is just happening at the same time. Like, my theory is that season 1 or phase 1 ended with Ode to the Cyber Apocalypse, and that Nyena's Dark Messenger lore happens after, as the start of phase 2, and that this is happening at the same time. So when they're trying to stop Nyena's, they're like, where's Iron Mouse? Well, she's missing in action because obviously she's kidnapped. Whereas Febe, she is in Japan. She couldn't make it to the place where Azathoth spawned, but it could still very well be that she sees it because Azathoth is a gigantic being and that she sees it here, but it's very unclear what it really is. And then at the end, we have here Nazuna. She is probably just standing in any big cityscape. It doesn't seem to be a desert. She turns around and asks, who are you? And then we pan out to a hand holding an envelope, and that envelope has been seen several times before as an invitation to become part of VShojo. Right now, it seems to be either Nazuna is being invited, like this is the point where Nazuna is invited into VShojo, or there will be another new member. And of course, it ends with 12/3/2022, which is the 3rd of December, which is today. And this is the event that was announced. It says, special event, come celebrate with us tomorrow for our first Chibi VShojo anniversary party, which at first glance doesn't seem to be anything special. Well, of course it's special because it's their anniversary, it's a special event. And the tweet says, stay tuned as we count down leading up to an exciting VShojo debut. So debut for VShojo doesn't always mean a new member. It can mean new models. It can be something else exciting. So it doesn't necessarily mean there's a new member. But then they made a follow-up tweet saying, we would like to invite anyone to co-stream and react along with us for a big reveal. Please use VShojo debut in your stream title and live tweet reactions. So VShojo has always been very okay with fans and content creators reacting to their stuff, watching their stuff, etc. But the fact that they specifically are calling out everyone to come and co-stream it means that there's so much that it could be. And I'm just very excited because I just love VShojo. I love Iron Mouse. I'm just invested in that agency. Before we go and do the time skip in this video, I want to say that I have a little bit of beef with VShojo though, because they're streaming this in the most EU unfriendly time ever. Like, it's literally at midnight. I wanted to co-stream this as well. Come on. Throw a bone to his EU people, okay? For once. Maybe. Please. That's it for this part of the video, so let's just skip ahead to future Ezzy that has seen the announcement already. Holy shit, it's Haruka. Holy shit. I stayed up. I think it was like 2 a.m. They delayed the announcement with like almost 2 hours. I stayed up. It was so worth it. Some people were upset that the first person joining like more than a year after the auditions was Haruka, who is already like a big streamer and friends with the girls. But what I gathered from Mouse's tweet is that Haruka is just the first of the new people. And what I know from the philosophy of VShojo is that they don't want to debut a big wave because that takes away from the individual, which makes a lot of sense in the context of VShojo versus Nijisanshi that just wants to pour out as many idols as possible. While VShojo is more talent oriented, like individual oriented. Like, there are no waves, they're just individual talents. So I think if there are more people coming, you can just expect the next person in like a few months, maybe somewhere early 2023. I don't know. And honestly, the fact that it's Haruka first makes me think that Snuffy will be next, and maybe then other people that might seem a bit more random compared to them from the auditions. Damn. But anyway, Haruka also got a lore video, which I will dedicate an entirely separate video to because there's so much in there. Because her lore is not just an additional story that happens in the VCU. It connects everything. You'd think I'd be exaggerating if I'd said it connects everything. It changes everything. It's like the basic YouTube clickbait title, but it's true. There were so many things that we weren't completely sure about. Like, she was present in several other videos. She played like a pretty big part, but there was very little elaboration on her part, her role in it. She was just there. And now we got more context. And actually, she is going to be a big part of the next phase, if I understand correctly. Like, the last part of her lore is direct continuation of Nyena's Dark Messenger lore. Like, that just came out this Halloween. I'm so ecstatic and it's so good. So to end this video, you're gonna watch the announcement trailer trailer. And in the next video, I will go and react to the entire lore video. I watched it on Ezzydesu's stream. He was live reacting. But I'm gonna rewatch it in its entirety, react to it, and add all of my thoughts.
At the beginning, there was nothing. The mysterious creator
This was
decided
so
for some
cool.
odd reason that there should be everything. And it was from within the cracks of creation that an ancient, unspeakable horror found us.
I once again get goosebumps from this. It's basically Nano's lore speedrun.
Humanity needs to be protected, and we need you two on our side if we are to survive what comes next.
I have goosebumps. It's so
I'll
good.
drain every drop of sanity from your minds and feast upon this world.
Look, the glove.
Who are you?
It was black in the other video. They threw us off so much. Oh, I screamed when I saw Haruka's face. Look at her! Let's fucking go! And she also debuted a new outfit. It's so good. That is what we waited 2 hours for. It was so worth it. It was worth messing up my sleep schedule for. Haruka, I'm so happy that you're a part of VShojo. I'm so happy to see you there. You'll be killing it. So in the next video, I will be going over Haruka's lore in its entirety with my thoughts and theories and how it ties into the rest of the VCU. But for now, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.